to the sky. Never let adventures pass you by. Be free and follow your crazy dreams. We're living our vision in the RV. Come ride with us and you'll be free.
We really enjoyed our 2-night stay at the Mirror Lake Inn last weekend, but it was time for us to get back on the road and continue our journey to see more of our beautiful country. Staying overnight somewhere other than our RV is something we have not experienced much in the almost 5 years now living full-time in an RV. But it's something that we highly suggest doing from time to time, just to give yourself a little change in routine and to treat yourself once in a while, especially when living in a van. It's also something that allows you to do more easily than if you are towing something or driving a bigger RV. There's no place to park anything that large in a place like the Mirror Lake Inn, and places like this are much more enjoyable than a regular hotel would be. This is just one more reason why traveling in something smaller has made our travels more enjoyable than in our previous 2 larger RVs. Every little positive has outweighed the negatives. We are continuously looking for new ways to make our travels less stressful, especially since we still work remotely. Today, our first stop is taking us to the Whiteface Mountain Observatory, just a 20-mile drive from Mirror Lake Inn in Lake Placid. It's $40 to get up through here. For two people, but he said that it's a complete whiteout at the top. You can see nothing. And he said it's been that way since Thursday. The clouds are so bad up there at the top, at the summit, that it's just a complete whiteout. I had the bikers that came down. He stopped here, and I asked him. He said he was still able to see. There was some blue sky up there, so, and we see everybody else going, so we're just going to do it. We're here. We got to do it.
Yeah. We'll hope.
All right?
Yep.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Ready? Construction of Whiteface Memorial Highway was completed in 1935, dedicated by President Franklin D. Roosevelt to World War I veterans. In 1985, it was rededicated by Governor Mario Cuomo to veterans of all wars. This highway will now and for decades to come continue to honor the veterans of this great nation. Elevator shaft over here that takes you up to the summit. You can take it that way also, or walk up here. I tell you, it's a bit nippy out here.
It is, and we're in shorts.
Ow. You can kind of see the road down there anyway.
Wow, yeah.
Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let can still take flight. Although you're earthbound.
You can take that little hike right up there to the summit, or you can take the elevator shaft. We're gonna go do the elevator shaft. Interesting. It looks like a little bit of a walk down there. It is. Or going into a cave or something. Gosh, it's cold. Whiteface Mountain is the 5th highest mountain in the state of New York and one of the high peaks of the Adirondack Mountains. The high peaks are a set of 46 mountain peaks in the Adirondack Mountains that have been a popular hiking destination since the late 1920s. 27 stories high? Wow.
You were made to soar amongst the clouds, but never learned to rise above these crowds. Stuck in the dust of the life that you found, with nowhere to go, no higher ground. Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight. Although you're earthbound. You're earthbound. Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more.
Well, we're very glad we came up.
It's worth the $40.
Yeah. We got lucky that the clouds broke up there for a few of those shots that really made it worthwhile. Sometimes the clouds really adds to the beauty.
Yes, that's true. But it's very cool up here.
Yeah, it's very...
And literally cool. So bring a heavier jacket, but worth it, worth it.
You're earthbound.
We're back, Mini Vinny 3.0. Our next stop takes us to Bolton Landing, New York, located on beautiful Lake George in the Adirondack Mountains. It's a common tourist destination and the closest town to the state park lands and islands of the Lake George Narrows. Our good friend AJ suggested that we stop here to eat at a place called the Algonquin, and then stroll around the area to take in the beauty and visit the unique shops. Lake George, nicknamed the Queen of American Lakes, is a long, narrow lake located at the southeast base of the Adirondack Mountains in the northeast portion of New York. It lies within the upper region of the Great Appalachian Valley and drains all the way northward into Lake Champlain and the St. Lawrence River drainage basin. The lake is situated along the historical natural path between the valleys of the Hudson and St. Lawrence rivers, and so lies on the direct land route between Albany, New York and Montreal, Canada. This was a one-way street coming up here to get to this extra parking because there was no parking down below here. We're gonna go eat at a recommended place called the Algonquin, I believe it's called. Thank you, AJ, for that recommendation. Thank you. This is fine. What a gorgeous place this is.
It's beautiful.
Last time we were in Upper New York, we really didn't drive through any of this area.
No, we were way up at the top.
Of the Adirondacks. So
Yeah. We missed out. But not this time.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing. I think we're able to enjoy it a little bit more better this time.
Yeah.
Very, very pretty.
The Vermonster Panini.
Guess what I got? You got it, a burger, and they do have gluten-free buns. Look at this. They even toasted it.
And these are homemade chips.
Oh, food was very good there.
It was.
Very, very good.
And can't beat that view.
Oh, no kidding. It's a very pretty area. Now, we saw some shops and up the road here, but it looks like we got a little bit of a walk if we do that.
I'm looking, I'm like,
is that why we both just stopped all of a sudden? We're like,
let's see further down there.
Found a public parking area here.
Free
Parking, but there is a sign that says no overnight parking. So don't get any ideas.
Brian,
I want to park here overnight. You spend more money. There's shops everywhere. She's like Toucan. I just follow my nose. It always knows. Did not sell slices of pie, just whole pies. You didn't think you can do a whole pie by yourself?
no.
Even have bags of apple cider donuts.
Yeah.
They looked really good. One big rock. That is really cool. Well, another pretty area.
Yes. Very pretty.
You know, I don't mind that we only seen, a couple hours or something of the area. We got to see quite a bit, and I'd rather come and see some of a place than nothing of it at all.
Right.
It was very, very cool area.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very pretty. All right. We're heading to, what's the name of the campground?
Alpine Lake RV
Resort.
Which is 1,000 Trails, correct?
Yes, we haven't been to 1,000 Trails for a while. check-in box. Cortesio, that's us. Looks like a nice place. As you know, I used to use a lap desk with my laptop on. It was kind of hard on my neck, so always looking down, or I would put it on the counter and stand up there and work. Well, I have since upgraded and now I am back to a driver's seat, kind of like I was in the Class A. So I adjust my steering wheel, push it in, push it all the way up. This thing here, that is a desk for the steering wheel. Now it comes with these hooks that you hook on here, and it hooks onto your steering wheel. But I don't like these, especially if you have a a leather steering wheel, because it's got little teeth on it and it goes on kind of hard. So I took those off, and I'm using these little Velcro straps, and just anything that'll pad it so it protects it. It's been working out good so far. I'm going to start this up so I can turn the steering wheel the correct way. Yeah, that'll work. So this is like your shelving pieces, your little shelving protector. It looks a little cumbersome, but it's really not a big deal once you get used to it, and especially when I'm going to be sitting here all day long, it's well worth it to have this because it's been a lot more comfortable. So I strapped those on there. I have not had this fall, not one time yet, and I've used this for about a month so far. Another thing is, got seat presets on here. So I've got a preset for when I'm driving, and then I hit that one for working. So it adjusts it so I'm all the way back without smashing what's behind me, and gives me room to get in and out. So I adjust this, I tighten these to where I need it. And then to protect the back of the steering wheel there from this metal and that, which, I don't know, in time it would probably start to make a wear on it. I just put that shelving protector back behind there. That's about right. And then I also put this on here. It helps hold my laptop from sliding. That way I've got my angle that I need. You can adjust this wherever you need it. You can adjust the steering wheel if you need it to come down further. I personally like it up higher so that it's easier for me to get in and out. And then it's got a little tray that slides out. I can put my phone here if I want to, but I like to put it up here where I can see notifications coming in if there's a message or something that I need to get to right away. A lot of times they come in on my laptop also. So that's what I did. I got rid of these and used that. And this works out well. On my power cord, I have a place behind the seat here that I can plug that in. Or adapter that has multiple plug-in ports. And it has a plug-in port on the side, so that when I reach back here, I can plug it right into the side and not have to reach around to try to plug it in this way, if that makes sense. And it's kind of hard to see it back there. On top you can tap it and it turns a light on, and then I can see where to plug this in. I just tap the top again a couple times. It has like 2 or 3 different dim levels, and then shut it back off. On your little coat hook or whatever, I leave that there because sometimes I have to unplug the laptop. And if I need to unplug the laptop, because on this particular laptop I've only got 2 USB ports. So if I have my hard drive, or well, it's an SSD drive, hooked into one of the ports for all my footage that I'm working on. That's where I keep everything. If I need to transfer files with this adapter, I have to unplug the cord. And if I unplug it, I can just let it go and it's going to be right here to grab. If I don't hook it up there, it's going to fall down here in between the seats and I got to try to reach down there and get it. So it's not what that was meant for, but it works for that. So I can plug that in and use that. Then I can just reach right there and grab the cord. And bada bing, bada boom. But this has been pretty comfortable for me. I get my armrest here. I can adjust that to kind of keep my arms at a, so that it's not like this all day. So that arm goes there and that arm can rest on the door. And I can sit here and I can work a lot more comfortable. This is up higher where my head is more straight, and it's just a lot better. This worked out really well. I got it on Amazon, have it on our Amazon store, and you have to check there to see the price of it. But again, I would not recommend using these unless you just don't care about your steering wheel. This takes a little bit longer to do it this way, but it protects the steering wheel and everything. Some of you may say, well, it's not your vehicle. Exactly. I would do this if it was my vehicle or not my vehicle. It's just taking care of things. It's the right thing to do. We're getting ready to leave Alpine Lake. It's a 1,000 Trails / Encore. It's really an Encore property, but part of the 1,000 Trails Encore package. And we're going to run inside and just grab coffee here before we take off. While Michelle's grabbing the coffee, I thought I would show you here just real quickly. There's sites that are waterfront. And then most of the 1,000 Trails / Encore sites they have reserved up kind of where we just left, which isn't as nice, but this whole campground, this whole resort is very, very nice. We really like it here. Really nice pool over here. The food we ate at the restaurant last night, we were shocked how good the food was. I was just telling these guys that we ate supper here last night and how good it was.
It was very, very good.
You wouldn't expect that at a campground.
I know, but yeah, it was
good.
Very good.
Yeah, they had some wine tasting going on over there too. They had music playing. Some kids were fishing out back, and today they're supposed to have like a vendor fair. Vendor fair, yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's
Labor Day holiday, so
yeah,
it'll be a busy weekend. So
it will. Hopefully,
we can see some things.
Ready for the ride?
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up. See you next week.